Good morning. Welcome into another edition of Your Life Matters with clinical social worker Dr. Beth Plachetka from Safe Harbor Counseling and Dr. Beth Speaks. And Dr. Beth joins us once again in studio. Good morning, Doctor.
Hi, Mike. How are you doing today?
Not bad. How are things?
Well, I'm good, and I'm very excited because some of our listeners, the kids have already started school, and the rest of them are coming along pretty quickly.
Hopefully, yeah. The school year is underway, or it's about to be, depending on what type of school you go to, and we're trying to kind of tie in with that with basically a three-part series. Hopefully you caught last week's show. We've got another installment today dedicated to school. What's our angle on this show?
Well, this one is about looking at the system because so often our interactions are limited just at the building level, usually, or the room level, even with just the teacher, sometimes the administration, the principal, or whomever. But there's a much bigger system that guides education, and sometimes we go to the wrong place if we have a question or a concern. And so it helps to know where we're supposed to go and who takes care of what. Now, everybody knows the teacher takes care of the daily interactions with students, provides lessons and feedback, supervised by the principal. Very common, we're familiar.
Sure.
The principal does the daily interactions with groups of teachers, either by department or by building, monitors materials, makes sure there's a cohesive approach, that everybody in the building does kind of the same thing, and the principal interacts with the superintendent or at the district level. The superintendent interacts with principals and the school board. So the superintendent's looking at the bigger picture, yet a bigger one, where there's smooth transitions between levels. Do the fourth graders know what the fifth graders need to know? Are they being taught that?
Sure.
Are they ready for middle school or high school? But also, then there's the school board, who's elected by the community, and that's the part that represents where we live, whatever is important to us. And that's a vital place if people want to express an opinion or know what's going on, to go to the meetings. There's also a process. You can't just go in and spout off.
Right.
But, to go and find out what's going on, because they hire the superintendent and the superintendent leads them. So there's a back and forth kind of relationship there that then looks at the state, the local, the state, and the federal laws about how you're going to implement them in the class. So sometimes we're saying to a teacher, well, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And the teacher, he or she is going, this is just the way we do it here. But when you go to the school board, we can say, well, here's the law, and this is what it means, and this is how we're implementing it. If we don't know that, then we're going to spend too much time and get frustrated and alienate people. Now, I do think, if we use confidentiality, for example, as an example, there are things we don't talk about students unless we're sharing something with another teacher who's going to be helping them, with the principal or with the parents. But who do we tell and why? You want to know as a parent, who's going to get information about my kids? When are you going to call me? Is there any reason you won't call me? Because if you're not going to call me, then I need to know why you're not going to call me, so I'll watch out for it at home. We want to be thinking all the time, is this what I want for my child? Because early habits make all the difference. If you go back to third grade, I bet you can think of something that you learned in third grade that you still kind of have the habit of doing, or you remember somebody saying, put your papers away, clear your desk, it's all ready, We want to have our students, our children, be able to have those good habits, and we can't miss anything. So we have to know who to go to. Yeah,
the system that's in place, important to know all the details there, as you can find out much more on this particular topic. We're focusing on school with a new school year here. You can listen to past shows, do it all at safeharboril.com. Dr. Beth can be reached at Safe Harbor at 630-466-8657. Safe Harbor and Dr. Beth with Facebook pages as well. So make sure you join us next week for our third installment on school, right at the same time with Your Life Matters clinical social worker Dr. Beth Plachetka from Safe Harbor Counseling and Dr. Beth Speaks.